Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of you kings and queens from all over the world. Welcome. For those of you guys joining us, especially if you're joining us using a social media platform, there are various of them. There is a YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or what have you, to name a few. Or if you're joining us using a mobile phone, you guys are special. And with that in mind, I want to give you a huge shout out. And I also want to say, please go right ahead and subscribe first and foremost. You can subscribe by clicking on this button right there that says subscribe, the one that says follow, share, and definitely like. And do not forget to click that bell right there. Why? Because this is the way you get to know every time we upload a new video or when we go live, just like we are right now, so that you are the first to know. This way you can actually join us in real time and actually be a part of the conversation as it happens. And with that in mind, guys, we also want to let you know that this zone right here, this space is our space. Right here, you can be sure that we are the truth, we are absolutely the trust, and we are the love. And these qualities are the benchmark by which we want you to measure the value of the content that we share with you. And with that in mind, guys, today I want to share with you or talk to you about one and only one thing, and that is the size of Africa. Why does that matter? It's a big deal, y'all. And while we're at it, we're going to go right ahead and break it down. We want to know, how is Africa presented? The presentation of Africa all over the world, the perception of Africa as it relates to the rest of the world, as well as the psychological effects from both the way Africa is presented and perceived. So we made a little small animated video that we want you to see. We've taken Africa and compared it to the superpower countries that all of you guys know. And if you do not know the superpowers, you get ready to check them out. And I want you guys to pay attention to the size. Why it matters tremendously. Now, I might not get a chance to go through all the reasons why it matters, but I'm just going to start on by introducing to you the size, because I know that most of you, especially in the West, you have no idea the size of Africa and how it compares to, for example, the United States, to UK, to France, to Germany, to China or Russia. So I want you guys to know that, because those are the superpower we have as of now, as of today, 2019. And it's crucial that you guys get to really understand the psychological and what's going on in the background when you manipulate the size of Africa as a continent. You specifically, sons and daughters of Africa, some of you do not know the size of these superpowers. I want you guys to pay attention as well, because it's crucial that you really get to know Africa and its relationship or comparison to the rest of these countries. Let's take a look. So for those of you guys who do not know, this is Africa, and you can see how big and pretty Africa looks. And look at the size, 30,370,000 kilometers square. That is super huge. Let's compare to the United States. So that's United States, the mainland, and Alaska right on the top of there. So for those of you guys who did not know, I want you to check it out. And by the way, these numbers, you can check them up on Wikipedia or Google. So look at the United States. Its size is 9,833,520 kilometers square. Guys, how does United States relates to Africa? Africa can swallow the United States 3 times, yo. 3 times. Which means you can literally seat Africa. You can seat the United States in Africa 3 times. This You never get to hear of it anywhere being communicated, especially in schools. You Africans, I want you to pay attention to this because, as you know, the United States, it's one of the superpowers, but look at the size of it as it relates to Africa. Next, let's go right ahead and check out France. For those of you guys who do not know, that's the size of France. I can hardly see it. Look at the size of France. The, the whole entire France, the size of it is 679 kilometers square. Again, look at the whole continent of Africa. 30,370,000 kilometers squares. 30,370,000 kilometers squares. Guys, seriously, take a look at this picture. All Africans leaving Africa, as big as it is, running to France, and they looking for France to feed them. Seriously. Now, 7 times, y'all. If France was a chicken on a plate, Africa can swallow it 47 times. For all your Africans who get 1 meal per day, if France was your dinner or your lunch, you could have France as your lunch or dinner 47 times. We're talking about a month and 17 days, y'all. That's how huge Africa is, 47 times bigger than France. Now, did you ever learn that in school? You got to know about these things, young people, especially you Africans with inferiority complex. Africa is huge and it has everything that you guys need, but you just have never been taught, explained that that's the case. Let's go to Germany next. Look how big, again, Germany looks as it compares to Africa. The whole size of Germany, it is only 357,386 kilometers square. Again, look at it as it relates to Africa. You can barely see Germany. It's like a little dot. Now, can you guess how many times Germany can go into Africa? And if Germany was dinner, how many times would you have that dinner? 85 times, y'all. Africa can swallow Germany 85 times. So if this was your meal, 85 times, that's close to 3 months for all of your hungry Africans. That's how big Africa is as it relates to Germany. 47 times, 85 times bigger. My apologies. 85 times bigger. Just think about this. And you Africans are running all the way up to Germany. Let's move on. Let's take a look at China. Would you guess how big China is? So China is almost as big as the United States. They're pretty much about the same size, just a little bit of different, but I would say squarely about the same. So Chinese land is 9,596,961 kilometers square. Again, as it relates to Africa, 30,370,000 kilometers squares. Literally, Africa can swallow China 3 times. You don't have to be a genius to see that. And just remember, Chinese population is the first in the whole entire world. Look at it. This little teeny Chinese land feeds these billions of people. Whereas Africa, as humongous as it is, it still has plenty of land for all these people. So you guys wake up, check this out. Oh, by the way, these numbers, you can literally pull them up on Google or any search engine, and you can check it up on Wikipedia too. There are various location where you can find this information. It's definitely not hidden at all. But again, you're Africans. Stop being ignorant. Let's move on to United Kingdom. Where is it? Oh, there it is. See how small it is? That's United Kingdom, y'all. And look at the size of the United Kingdom. 242,495 kilometers squares. Again, take a look at United Kingdom and Africa. What's wrong with this picture, y'all? All your Africans are running from Africa going straight to the United Kingdom. Do you think the United Kingdom is stupid that they would be housing all your Africans in there? They just don't have enough land to house all of you Africans. So you might as well stay home and just develop your own country, guys. It's, the numbers don't lie, guys. You cannot try to run to the United Kingdom, all of your Africans. It's just not feasible. Now, how many times is Africa bigger as it relates to the United Kingdom, or how many times can Africa swallow United Kingdom? Check this out, y'all. 125 times. If UK is your dinner, man, you'll be set for at the very least 4 months. 125 days. That's a whole lot of days for dinner, y'all. But you are never gonna be taught this. And I want you guys, young people, to take a look at this. How do you explain that Africans are hungry, as big as it is right now, and the United Kingdom is going to feed Africa? Are they magicians? Just think about these things, guys. It is just not feasible that you can absolutely ask the United Kingdom to feed you peoples in Africa. Let's be real, y'all. It's up to us to feed ourselves. It's up to us to develop that land. Let's go ahead and take a look at another country. That is Russia. Now look the size of Russia in Africa. Again, Africa is big as I don't know what. The size of Russia, it's 17,098,246 kilometers square. Africa can swallow Russia at least twice, close to twice anyway, roughly. And again, all your Africans that try to run Russia, even though Russia is not having you all. So guys, take a look at this map. These are the superpowers as we know them today in 2019. And you Africans, y'all need to wake up. This is your continent. Look how big Africa is, y'all. Extremely big. So y'all need to time out and literally do what you gotta do for your continent and these countries within the continent as well. So guys, why is this important? Or told the presenter that Africa is very small. That's why you guys are fighting. That's why you're hungry. That's why you can't take care of yourselves. Then they say just go to Europe, go to Asia, go to America, go to Australia. That presentation will give you inaccurate information as to the size of Africa. The perception, Africa is not good. Why? Because there isn't anything going on in Africa as it's presented. Now, the psychological effects for misrepresentation of the size of Africa. If you thought that Africa is small, for example, you saw, look how big the Africa continent is as it relates to France. How can you expect the French to feed the whole entire Africa? You Africans, I'm asking you. How would you expect France, as small as it is, to feed you? Are they magicians? What about the United Kingdom? A country as small as the United Kingdom, how would you expect them to feed all of your Africans? Even the United States. It's fairly big, just like Russia and China. You cannot possibly expect them to forego their own populations and come and feed you. We have people who are hungry in the United States, in Russia, and in China, and you expect them to come over and feed you. So the psychological effects behind that, it leads you Africans to believe that the grass is greener elsewhere but Africa. But also all the advertisement that you receive that Africa is no good. Guys, you are being misled. If Africa can swallow the United Kingdom, it can swallow the United States, it can swallow France, and it can swallow China and squeeze in Russia. These are the superpowers. Doesn't that click in your head something? Think about it, guys. So, Africa has so much resources, any kind of resources, in abundance, which means Africa can feed all your Africans and all of us Africans outside of Africa, and can feed the whole entire United States, can feed the whole Northern America, it can feed the whole entire Europe, the whole entire Asia. It can feed all these continents. But why is it that Africa is the poorest of the poorest? Why are you Africans, brothers and sisters, hungry right now? Because you're being taught that Africa doesn't have anything. But it's not true. All these superpowers are in Africa right now as we speak. Given that Africa has more than enough natural resources and so much more. Everybody's helping themselves up. They're all helping themselves except you Africans. So you all gotta wake up. You inherited a land that is so fruitful, that is so rich, that has everything. Now it's up to you to roll your sleeve and get to work. UK can have you. It just doesn't have enough space. So your psychic has to change, your understanding has to change, your thinking must change. Why do you think they would deport you so quick? Why do you think France will quickly deport you? They just don't have any way to put you. So all your Africans, especially all of you who are smart, y'all need to wake up, develop your homelands. We have everything to develop our continent, to develop your respective countries. So what are you waiting for? UK is not going to do it for you. Certainly France is not going to do it for you. And definitely the United States is not going to do it for you. Chinese people are not going to do it for you. Y'all got to do it for yourselves. So the psychological effects that's being laid on the top of you as you blanket, y'all need to let go of that blanket, y'all. There's a new blanket. Look at the size of Africa and compare it to the rest of these countries, these superpower countries. You're smart. You got all the resources. You got the brain. What are you waiting for, guys? I'm just saying. So let's talk real, y'all. For those of you guys who are just joining us, we're talking about the size of Africa. Please go ahead and rewind. Check it out. So, guys, this is a new era, y'all. Y'all need to wake up. Stop begging. It is so embarrassing to see kings and queens begging for some crown braids. You cannot be begging for crown braids when you own the entire kitchen that creates braids. The bread is yours. The kitchen that makes the bread is yours. Why are you fighting over crown braid? It is so shameful, y'all. Just so that you know, you own the whole entire kitchen. It is yours. So why do you have to fight over 3 slices of bread when you own the whole entire kitchen and the flour and the eggs and everything that makes it? Y'all need to wake up, y'all. Don't be blaming the West. Don't be blaming Europe. Don't be blaming all these people that they're keeping you from having what you need to have. It is not their fault. It is our fault, y'all. We got everything. We also got the knowledge. The knowledge is there. So don't have any excuse, y'all. My peoples, I love you. Again, our zone here, we are the truth. We are the trust and we are the love. That's the only reason why I'm talking to you about this, y'all. Especially those of you who do not know it. I want you to know it. And those of you in Europe or here in the United States who have no idea, who have no clue, that's the size of Africa, y'all. We can swallow the United States, France, United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia, and squeeze in China. That's how big Africa is. We have enough natural resources to take care of everything that must be taken care of. But the question is, why is it not being done? We are hungry, but we have fruitful land. Why is it that we're now planting nourishments and relying on the food that you're sending us? Why create generically modified food when you can plant your own food, Africans? You don't have to go in an industry and manufacture food when you have fruitful land that can give you food. It makes no sense. You can feed the whole entire planet, but you're hungry. What's up with that? Anyway, guys, nothing but love. Let's wrap it up. Next, we're going to talk about the population and a whole lot of other things, y'all. So, as you can imagine, click on that button right there, subscribe, hit follow right there, hit share, and definitely hit like. By the way, if you don't really like it, if you don't like any of this, hit that button that says dislike also. It's cool because we want to know whether you guys are having anything, are being nourished, because we want to nourish you guys. And hit that bell right there too, because that's how we want to let you know next time we go live or next time we upload another video. With that in mind, guys, I love you so very much. All of your Africans, I love you. My peoples in Europe, my peoples here in the United States, all of you peoples, we are one people, y'all, all over the world. But it's about time that Africa, you young people in Africa, you all need to take your land, your inheritance, and flip the script. You guys are the true kings and queens of this land, Africa. So you need to start working and get out of whatever foolishness that you are in. And all your grandpas and grandmas, all our leaders, our papas and mamas who are misleading our peoples, the time is up for you guys. We love you, but y'all gotta go if y'all cannot help us to develop our own homelands. We just can't be going to Europe or the United States of Asia. We have everything we need in Africa. So help us develop our own homelands. So with that in mind, thank you so much, guys. Until next time, this is Freeman Singirankabo, spinning it right here with our show, African State of the Union. You have yourself a super fantastic day. Until we meet again, goodbye, guys.